Chicago Bears Now is sponsored by Roan. If you're looking for new wardrobe in your closet, hey, why not check out Roan? I got the golf polo on, but they also got nice, business professional type of clothing stuff. You could throw a suit jacket over. Roan.com/chatsports. That's going to get you 20% off at checkout. My name's Harrison Graham, and on today's show, we're going to do bye week changes. Shout out to Rolly for spelling bye incorrectly. I mean, my goodness, the kid probably ripped 6 shots before this show.
What are you talking about, Harrison?
There he goes. It's fixed now.
What was wrong?
The evidence has been erased. The Bears are obviously off this week, so I suggest 5 changes for Week 14 and beyond for the rest of the season. And one of these isn't really an on-the-field change, so stay tuned for that as well. But let's go ahead and start diving into this here. The first thing is please just play to Justin Fields' strengths for the rest of the way and see what happens. I get it. He needs to continue to improve as a straight drop back guy. I actually think he has. Now, maybe not to the speed that the Bears would like to, but I do think he has gotten better there. But embrace Fields for what he is and give him the fairest shot possible to prove he can be the guy. Get him on the move as a runner, as a passer, play action. Where did the play action go against Minnesota? I get their blitzing, but you can go play action boot, get him on the edge, and let him use his athleticism to his advantage. They just completely went away from that and just went to the wide receiver screen playbook. Like, let's evaluate him the best way we possibly can. And, by the way, if you do those things, it's probably going to give you a better chance to win as well. Here's what's interesting. You look at Fields' last 17 games, 64% completion. Not great, but definitely good. Definitely an uptick. 3,000 yards passing, roughly. 25 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Okay, 2-1. Almost 1,300 rush yards, because remember, midway through last year, he took off as a runner. 8 rushing touchdowns. So you look at the yardage, that's over 4,200 yards, 33 touchdowns to 12 picks. The biggest issue, as he has been very productive, there's no doubt about that. Those are productive numbers. You'd like the passing to be a little higher, the rushing to probably ideally be a little lower, but I said coming into this year, if he's 4,000 all-purpose, now it's not going to happen. He missed 4 games. I'd be happy. Over the last 17 games, he's over 4,200, so that's good. Now, the biggest concern is he's fumbled 16 times and lost 5. He's got a fumbling problem. He just does. When he holds the ball on too long, he fumbles in the pocket. Sometimes when he scrambles, he tries to do too much, he'll fumble. We saw that late in the Minnesota game on that second one where he's just trying to make a play. You gotta hang on to the football. You just do. So that is a concern. And I think it's been a little bit better this year. His fumble rate isn't as high as it was in his second season, but it still has to trim down overall. That's the biggest concern I've had with Justin Fields over the last year plus. But otherwise, the production's been there, and the improvement's there. Like, it really is. Now, is he improving? Did he make that Josh Allen year 3? No, he didn't. But, play to his strengths. See what happens these final 5 games, and let's get as clean of an evaluation as we possibly can. So let me know. Are you in on Justin Fields? Type I for in or O for out. Are you in or out? You could say not sure yet. That's perfectly acceptable. I just hope we have a clear answer after this season because to me the water is still pretty muddy there. Number 2, I want to see a lot more of Gervon Dexter Sr. Now, I will say this. I think, especially on the interior, the rotation is going to make sense. You're always going to rotate the big fellas in there anyway. But Dexter has really kind of picked it up here. His last 3 games, he's got 8 pressures, 4 quarterback hits. He had a chance at his first NFL sack and just couldn't finish it against Josh Dobbs, who escaped sacks pretty well, but that was one he should have made. But I see him in the backfield a lot, man. He's making a lot of plays, and that excites me. Now, obviously, Justin Jones is playing pretty well. I'm not saying bench the guy, not play him at all. DeMarcus Walker's kicked in some and is doing some good things, but I want to see more Gervon Dexter. Like, I still think you're going to want to add to that defensive line this offseason, but if you feel like Dexter could be your starting 3-tech moving forward, I mean, how huge would that be? That gives you even more options with that cap space if you are Ryan Poles. So hopefully over the final 5 games, we get to see Dexter get more run than he has been getting. Roan! You can run in Roan clothing because it's got the 4-way stretch fabric that makes you always feel comfortable. Men's closets needed a radical reinvention, and Roan stepped up to the challenge with their commuter collection. I mentioned the 4-way stretch fabric. That applies to the polos, some of the T-shirts they got. Even their pants are nice and, stretchy. They fit well. And here's what's cool about Roan. If you want to go casual, you can go casual. You want to go business professional and throw on a coat and tie with their long sleeve commuter button down, you can do that as well. If you want to go to the golf course, happy hour, yeah, all different types of styles. It'll fit the occasion. And what I love about Roan more than anything else is, I'll be honest, before I found Roan, I was spending way too much on dry cleaning. Just annoying. It's a pain in the ass to have to go to a dry cleaner, pick it up, drop it off, pay the bill. Not with Roan. Machine washable. Throw it in the washing machine. Don't dry it. Let it air dry. Then if you need to iron whatever you can. But no more trips to the dry cleaners. It's a huge deal. Get 20% off at Roan.com/chatsports. That's Roan.com/chatsports. RHONE.com/chatsports. Make sure you get started with Roan today. Okay, let's continue here as obviously wrapping up this Gervon Dexter conversation. Billings, obviously you just extended him. He's going to play some nose there. Pickens, I'd like to see Pickens move around a little bit. I don't think he's really a nose tackle. I think that's probably more of an offseason question, how they address how he fits moving forward. But, again, I just want to see more Gervon Dexter Sr. And, look, the D-line's playing better recently. Wonder why. Wonder what the difference has been in recent weeks. Oh, yeah, you traded for Montez Sweat, who has, in the words of Ryan Poles, been a multiplier, and he has definitely helped other guys play better, including Gervon Dexter. So good move, Ryan Poles. Give me more Gervon Dexter, Matt Eberflus. All right, get Darnell Mooney going. I don't know what the deal is, man. I still think Mooney's a good route runner. I still think he's a guy that can get open. Now, some of this has been, some of the few opportunities he has gotten, Fields has just missed them. Scramble drill the other night, rolls to his left, throws the ball tick late, it's high. You just got to put it on him. I mean, he's open there. You got to hit that throw. But Darnell Mooney is just not giving you the production you would expect. He's only been targeted 42 times this year, only has 350 yards. His one touchdown came in week 1 against Green Bay. It can't just be DJ Moore. Like, Fields and Moore have great chemistry, and I'm not saying take targets away from him, but you got to find a few more for Darnell Mooney. He's too quick, too good of a route runner to just be a guy you're using as a damn blocker in this garbage bubble screen game you're trying against Minnesota. By the way, first play of that game is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You want to run some screen game, fine. Don't run a wide receiver screen out wide to your tight end, Cole Kmet, who I love, but is not exactly elusive. How about you use him as a blocker out there and you throw it to Darnell Mooney? It's an easy opportunity to get Mooney a touch. By the way, the one time they did throw it to Mooney out there, you didn't block and he got killed. Like, come on, man. Can we get Darnell Mooney on the move? Like, they did that better with Bagent, and with Fields, they don't run that stuff. It's just, it's so weird to me, but I hope that beyond DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney can get things going. And if not him, maybe it can be Tyler Scott, because you'd like to see someone else emerge here. Join the channel, and if you want to stay up to date on the latest Bears news and rumors, hit that sub button. We're just at 500 subscribers away from reaching our next milestone of 81,000 subs here on the channel. We appreciate it. Love all of our subscribers. Non-subscribers, we love you too. Give us a little love back and hit that sub button. It's free. Find out if Roschon Johnson is RB1, at least for next year, right? And again, kind of like the Gervon Dexter discussion, I'm not saying start Roschon and give him 20 carries a game. What I am saying is I like what I saw in an expanded role against the Vikings. He only had 3.5 yards per carry, but he caught the ball really well. He blocked really well. There's a play that kind of went around Twitter where he blocked not only one but two guys that got loose in the interior, which allowed Fields to get rid of a throw. He blocked both of them. I mean, it was an impressive rep. I would like to see him get more opportunities. Now, I don't know what the pecking order is going to be when Deontay Foreman is back and healthy, but he was your RB1 when Khalil Herbert first came back. Then Foreman missed the next game, and they started Herbert. But Johnson played over 70% of the snaps against Minnesota. Now, I think a lot of that was due to a blitz-heavy scheme you're going against. But get Roschon some opportunities, man. I'm not saying Herbert can't get carries. I'm not saying Foreman can't get carries. They should as well. But find a way to not diminish Roschon to like a 3 touches a game type of role he was in when Foreman and Herbert were both healthy. I think he's earned more than that. And this is the one I was talking about, not on the field, off the field. Extend Jaylen Johnson. Why not revisit things during the bye week here? Jaylen Johnson's playing some really good football. Now, We all want him to squeeze those pick sixes. The one against Detroit probably would have won you that game. One against Minnesota, I mean, he diagnosed both those plays so beautifully and just didn't squeeze it. You could tell it frustrated him. But otherwise, he's playing unbelievable. I mean, Pro Football Focus has him as the third highest overall graded corner at 90 overall. His coverage grade is over 90. He's a willing tackler. I thought he had his best game as a pro as a tackler against Minnesota in run support. QBs, when targeting him, their QB rating is 37.7. If you spike the football, it is 39.6. Like, he is creating turnovers. By the way, in that Minnesota game, yeah, he dropped that pick six, but he had another pick, and he deflected another ball up, which led to another pick. So he almost contributed to 3 interceptions, still contributed to 2, 8 breakups, 3 picks on the year. What's crazy is had he squeezed those 2 pick sixes, I think you're talking about the best corner this season in the NFL. I know Deron Bland has 5 pick sixes, and that's crazy, but Jaylen Johnson's more sticky in coverage. I mean, he has just been unbelievable on the back end for Chicago. And to me, you got a few extra days here. Why not revisit it? And look, Jaylen might say, hey, I'm not talking until after the season, and that's fine. But if you're Ryan Poles, if you're Kevin Warren, whoever, why not try and get those discussions ramped up again? Because to me, I like Tyreek Stevenson. I like Terrell Smith. When Terrell Smith plays, he shows me stuff. They're not Jaylen Johnson, though. Like, Jaylen Johnson is a guy you give a second contract to, period, end of story. If you're with me, type P for pay. If you're not and you want to wait till the end of the season or maybe never end up doing it, type W for wait. If you think the Bears should pay Jaylen Johnson like I do, type P for pay. If not, type W for wait. All right, guys, bye week changes things I would like to see as the Bears do not play this week, but they will be back in action next week in another big NFC North game, third one in a row. This time Detroit coming to town as the Bears look to get revenge after blowing that game a couple weeks ago up at Ford Field. Hit that sub button. We'll have full coverage here on the channel leading up to that football game.